Hi, this is Tom with Avidyne, and we're flying the IFD 550. If you're following along at home, we're using the book Flying with the Avidyne IFD by Michael F. Powers. And today we're going to talk about flying random holds and other holding patterns and how to enter those, edit, and delete them. So let's do that real quick. In this particular example, we've got a flight plan from Quad City to Chicago Midway. It's all set and we're trucking along. And let's say here we are. J. Paul is our active waypoint, and we get a call from center that says, Piper 1234, hold south of the Waukee intersection on a 180-degree radial, left-hand turns, expect further clearance at 1615 Zulu. So this is considered a random hold. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to enter a hold after Waukee or at Waukee. So we'll highlight, move the insert cursor down just past the Waukee intersection. And now I'm going to use my FMS button and I push in on it and I get my standard menu, which I can always enter a waypoint. But look, what we want to do is do the hold. And again, I can reach up and touch or scroll down. We're going to hold at Waukee. We push enter again by pushing in on the FMS button. And notice it adds a hold right after Waukee. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the cursor. And let's use our side tab to get our map. And again, we'll take our view expand button and switch it to view cursor. So now it's going to show us our hold because we've got it highlighted over that waypoint. You saw in some of the previous videos, when you're in the view cursor mode, it'll take you to that particular waypoint. So here, notice we've got a standard hold, but that's not the hold that we were given. This is on our current flight plan, as you can see here. So what we want to do is edit that. They said they wanted left turns and they wanted 180-degree radial. So what we want to do is come over here where it says right. And again, I can use the small knob or I can just reach up and touch that. Push in and turn while it's white. It'll edit it and change it to a left turn. The other way to do that is to just touch it and it'll toggle between left and right. We want left turns. Then we'll come over here where it says 103. Now this is a course 2. We want the radial, we were given the radial from of 180. So we want to put the course in of 360. So let's type that in, which will be the 180-degree radial. So now we're good to go there. Let's go back to our map. And now you can see that our holding pattern has rotated to correspond to what we were assigned. And you'll also notice it says to hold south now instead of holding west, which is what the default was. If we go to the full map page, you can see it nice and clean. So now when we want to enter and fly that hold, it's going to be very obvious because of the next leg is always the magenta and white segmented or candy cane. So now you can see where our next leg is. Makes it easy to know how you're going to enter. So as you cross the holding fix, a message will appear that says you're performing a parallel entry. There it is. Now you're going to want to make the turn. Your CDI will be giving you instruction. Notice your next leg now is the teardrop. The message center gives you the bearing for your current leg. So as you can see, with the next leg, segmented leg of magenta and white, it makes it super easy to know exactly what to do and when. The IFD 550 and all the IFDs for that matter make it really easy to fly a hold. It takes a lot of the mental gymnastics out of it. When you're fully established in the hold, the entire hold pattern will be magenta. All other legs will be white. There are no barber pole legs, as you can see. There's no next leg because you're stuck in the hold, right? So let's say you're flying along in the hold now, and ATC comes back and says, Piper 1234. After Waukee, you're cleared on course. So now what you want to do is let's go back over to the FMS Flight Plan tab. And notice down in the FMS Butler in the lower left corner, you've got a button called Exit Hold. So let's press the Exit Hold button. And notice it'll say exiting hold at the fix, which is what we were instructed to do. If for some reason that were to change, you can continue the hold. But in this case, we're going to exit the hold. Notice we now have a barber pole or a next leg. The FMS knows it's anticipating that transition. When the aircraft reaches the Wakby intersection, it will exit the hold and proceed with the rest of the flight plan. So it leaves the pattern and turns on course for the next waypoint, in this case, BDF. So as you can see, we've entered an unpublished hold at a random waypoint. We were easily able to enter it. We had obvious instruction on how to get into the hold, how to edit the hold, how to exit the hold, and now we're back on course. Up next, we'll program a published hold and see how that works. Okay, now let's talk about programming a published hold. Published holding patterns are included in the IFD's database, so it should know the proper procedures when you enter the holding pattern on a published waypoint. Sometimes there are exceptions though. So let's continue this scenario, and you get a call from center that says Piper 1234, hold as published at Bradford, 5-mile legs, expect further clearance at 1700 Zulu. So let's get over here to our flight plan as we are. We're going to enter a hold, so let's go to put the insert cursor right after the Bradford VOR. Notice it's part of the Motif 5 or Motif 4 arrival. So it has a published hold. If we look at the Motif 4 arrival in the book, it says that you fly on the 247-degree radial. So we're going to push in on the button to load the hold. It gives us the menu. We select hold at Bradford. And it's going to ask us for either holds at 1.5 or 1 minute legs. We'll select 1 minute. Now we were clear on 5-mile legs, not timed legs. So this is the published hold. But in this case, the controller wants to give us some longer legs, so we're doing fewer turns. Apparently we're going to be here a little while. So now it says we're holding southwest of Bradford, and it's set at 247 degrees, which is the radial. But again, we're showing the course, so we want to have the reciprocal, and it's smart enough to know that. So it's 67 degrees. So let's change the 1 minute legs to 5-mile legs. So we would take our FMS knob and the small knob and turn it and put it over the 1 mile, push in to change it white for editing, spin up to 5 miles, or again, you can touch the field and it'll give you a keyboard to type it in. I like to do that. And now our minutes, we can push in to change it from minutes to nautical miles. So now we've edited our flight plan, our hold. Let's go back over to let's pull our side tab out, and you can see the map with the flight plan. So in the previous examples, we've seen how to exit a hold by crossing the holding fix, as was done in the first scenario, and then we've also just proceeded directly to another waypoint. Now what we want to do is proceed directly to the holding fix and then exit the hold. So, okay, now we want to exit this hold. We get a call from ATC that says Piper 1234, cleared direct Bradford, cleared on course. So now what we want to do is highlight Bradford, not the hold waypoint, but the Bradford waypoint, and we're cleared direct. So let's hit the direct 2 key and enter and activate. So now we're going to go direct to Bradford. Now notice the hold is still there. What we can do is we can see that the holding pattern is still there in the magenta line, so it's kind of confused. It's going to want to go back into the hold. So let's highlight the hold waypoint and clear it. Now you can see we'll get back on track and head to Bradford. So as you can see with the IFD 550, adding a holding pattern to your flight plan is super easy, as is deleting it. We can easily enter the parameters of a hold. Even with a published hold, the IFD has all that information in the database. We can use it as is, or we can easily manipulate it as well. The IFD is designed to make your flying easier, and I think the IFD 550 really does a great job with entering and exiting holds.